Hi, Mirella here with life coaching tips and strategies for everyday living. Welcome if you are brand new to my channel. This is a place where you'll hear one life coach's perspective on how to do life better. Today I'm going to be addressing why people don't see things the way we do. That's frustrating. It can get annoying. How can we better understand them? Why can't they get on board with how we see things, with how we want to do things? Why would I want to do things your way when my way is best? Does that sound familiar? One reason people don't see things the way we see things is possibly because of the way we think. Our styles of thinking are completely different. I used to love those optical illusions where you'll look at a photograph and you'll have to decide, what do you see first? Do you see the witch or do you see the pretty lady? I always found those really interesting. And then there were those 3D pictures that you would look at, you would stare at for a long time. And only after you really stared at it did you see an image. It was a 3D image that would come through. And honestly, it just looked like a bunch of ants for the most part, like ants all over each other. It would kind of take a while for your eyes to adjust and to focus on what the image was. And I remember standing there oftentimes and I never saw anything. But I didn't want to be the only dummy who never saw anything. So it was only after a while I would lean into my friend and go, do you see it? And they would confess they never saw it either. Seriously, how can we be looking at the same exact thing and not see the same exact thing? That's because we think differently. One explanation could be the type of thinker that you are. You either fall into an analytical thinker or a global thinker. I don't want to pit one against the other. It's not about one being better, one being worse. They're both just as smart and capable, but brains are just wired differently. Some see a more global picture, the big picture, and other people are more analytical in their style. They see specifics. So I want to help you identify what kind of thinker you are, because knowing who you are might help in identifying who the people around you are, the people that you're interacting with that might annoy you because they see things a little bit differently. Let's see if you can figure out which one you are. An analytical thinker is very detail oriented. They love details and they love to tell you the details when they're explaining something or they're telling you a story. That is their strength. They have amazing focus. They love lists, they love order, and they sort of like to go on and on about things. Not so with the global thinker. A global thinker is more big picture. They like to condense things. They paraphrase things. They want to get to the bottom line. They're not as in tune with the specifics and finer details of things because they are bottom line people. They're the ones that will easily summarize the details to give you a fuller understanding of something. Why is it important to know this? Because we can so easily become irritated and frustrated and annoyed at somebody because they don't see things our way. And worse, they don't even want to. And it's simply because we're wired differently. We see different details and they're both equally valid and valuable. Instead of saying your way is totally backwards, it makes no sense, and why would I do things your way? Maybe if we paused and took the time to value a different perspective, maybe we could really have a full picture of what's happening. See if you can find what's really interesting about what the other person sees, because that may just be something that you've overlooked. There's no right or wrong. It's simply different strengths for different people. Like when it comes to our eyes, one eye tends to be more dominant than the other. Also, some of us are right-handed and some of us are left-handed. There's no better or worse. We're just different. If you're dating somebody or married to somebody who is opposite than you might find it charming at first, but let me tell you, that quickly runs out. In order to keep our relationships healthy, whether at home or at work, it might be helpful to recognize what kind of thinker am I dealing with? And when we're interacting, how much information am I sharing? If the person is analytical, they might appreciate having a little bit more detail. If the person is a global thinker, maybe we need to paraphrase and get to the bottom line quicker. Here's what I hope you got out of today's video, that whether you're an analytical thinker or a global thinker, the point is that we accept and we appreciate what the other's strengths are. Some people are there to give us the added detail that we've missed, and some people are there to give us the bigger picture, the bottom line, when we're stuck in the small list of specifics and details. Both are important. So I'm curious which you are. Why don't you let me know in the comments below? I'll see you next time.